Welcome back to Guys Time. I know it's been a long time since we've done an episode here on Guys Time, but we are back. We have lots to to cover today. Excuse me. Yeah, I know I forgot how to talk. It's been over a month, but we got the Lions to talk about. That was a horrible game Sunday night. I know it's a few days ago. We all dealt with it probably Monday and probably a little bit Tuesday, but I want to give you guys my perspective of that game. We got to talk about some college football. Michigan got the hoodie on, barely beating Northwestern. That's a good Northwestern team, but man, 5 turnovers from the Wolverines, unacceptable. So we have to go dive into that. We got to talk about the Red Wings. We got to talk about UFC 322, another great fight night in New York City at the iconic Madison Square Garden. We'll dive into that. We got to talk about those Detroit Pistons. 11 straight wins for that team. Most of those wins without their starters. Cade Cunningham came back last night. 25 points, 10 assists, 120 to 112 victory over the Atlanta Hawks. We got to discuss those guys as well. And then we ended the episode today to talk about Kamel Macklin, his 5th pro fight, December 20th. I mean, what a great way to end the year 2025 for that young boxer there. But we got to talk about these Detroit Lions. I mean, man. Dude, that game Sunday night was god-awful. It was horrible. Eagles, 8-2. They beat the Lions 16-9. Lions dropped down to 6-4. They're 3rd place in NFC North. The Lions defense, bravo. I mean, they played a great game. To hold the defending Super Bowl champions to 16 points on the road, and our offense can't do anything. They can't put up 30-plus points. Since 2023, they've scored the most points in the NFL. They only got 9. 9 points on Sunday Night Football. That's prime time. Unacceptable. Jared Goff looked awful. Awful! Why are you wearing gloves? Obviously, that's one of the main reasons why you couldn't make a pass Sunday night. Awful. He looked absolutely horrible. Probably the worst I've seen him play in his entire career. Not just with the Lions, his entire career. His worst game yet. I mean, when you're Jared Goff, when you're getting paid that much money to win these games, and you're supposed to win these games when you're getting paid that much, when you're supposed to be an elite quarterback, one of the best teams in the NFL, and you do that, you play like that, trash. It was horrible. It was a horrible performance by Jared Goff. I couldn't believe it. He had balls batted down. That Eagles defense, bravo again. Those guys batted down like 4 or 5 passes in that game. They were getting after Jared Goff, and that's another thing about Jared Goff. It's like he almost has to have a perfect offensive line. He doesn't have the perfect offensive line. He crumbles like a chocolate chip cookie. A warm chocolate chip cookie, may I add. He crumbles. Because he can't step up into the pocket. He can't make the throws downfield. I don't know why he's wearing gloves. It was chaos Sunday night. And, their first possession, Lions' first possession, Goff threw an interception. I'm sitting there and thinking to myself, this might be a tough battle for Jared Goff. This is going to be a tough night for the Lions. I mean, we're lucky we didn't get absolutely annihilated. The Eagles should have put up 50-plus points against us. But our defense, once again, has to save our ass. Because our offense can't do anything. Can't move the ball down the field, can't sustain drives, can't eat the time off the clock. Nothing. So balls batted down, as I mentioned. Pressure, like I said, a little amount of pressure. Jared Goff receives. He crumbles like a chocolate chip cookie. And he's missing passes. You have guys wide open. He's throwing it into the dirt. What are you doing? You have Amon-Ra St. Brown wide open, throwing the dirt. You have your tight ends. Yeah, I get it. We don't have Sam Laporta. He's going to be out for a few more weeks. But you got Brock Wright wide open, throwing the dirt. J-Mo, you overthrow him. What are you doing, Goff? I mean, he just looked completely out of it. Like, once they were down a few points, once he, started throwing passes and couldn't complete a pass to save his life, mentally, he was just done. He was drained. He had no game plan no solution to his problems, to his miscues. It was a complete disaster by Jared Goff. And, I see people on social media and the internet defending Jared Goff. Dude, that is a game that the Lions need to win. I'm sorry. I get it. The Eagles are a great team. They are the defending Super Bowl champions. I get that. But these are the games you have to win if you want to compete in the playoffs. If you want to compete in the NFC North. Because you're at 6-4 right now. And let me tell you something. My worry level, it was not so much after Sunday night's game. Very worried. I'm very worried about this team. They got the Giants Sunday at home. That should be a win. Should be. Because the Giants are 2-9 for Christ's sake. I mean, with or without Jackson Dart. You might get him or Jameis Winston. Famous Jameis, right? Lions got to figure out. They have to win that game. But that's what I'm talking about. You're supposed to win that game against a 2-9 Giants team. You have to beat the Eagles, the Vikings, who don't look the greatest right now. They just lost to the Bears, who somehow is not only in first place in the NFC North, but they find ways to win. Sounds kind of common sense like, right? So they're first place in the NFC North, but you got to beat the Vikings, you got to beat the Eagles, you got to beat the Chiefs, and then you got to beat Green Bay. And you got Green Bay on Thanksgiving. But you got the Giants this week. Handle your business. You're supposed to win that game. But the good teams on the road, Jared Goff, you're getting paid millions of dollars by this organization. Win the damn games. Complete some passes. Take off the gloves when you're playing outside. I don't know. It was a disaster. The Sunday night, the Lions, like I said, the defense, bravo. You played excellent. There was nothing more I could have asked from that defense. What more do you want them to do? When they're out on the field 40 out of the 60 minutes of the game, of course they're going to get drained. They're going to get tired. They're going to get banged up. They're going to get fatigued. That's where the offense needs to step up. And the offense didn't do anything, except for Jahmyr Gibbs. He did all right. Jameson Williams scored a touchdown, and then he wanted to be a bonehead and cost us an extra point. Smart football, guys. You got to be a little intelligent. We're already into week 12. Let's start, using our noodle a little bit. Yeah? Okay. Crazy. But yeah, he's missing passes, throwing it low. Is he the answer? Really? Jared Goff, is he going to really lead us to the promised land? Because after watching Sunday night's game, the Detroit Lions are not a playoff team. And, people are like, oh, it's going to take time. It's going to take time. We are in year 5 under Dan Campbell and Brad Holmes. Year 5 already. A couple years ago, we were at the Super Bowl. And then we got really greedy and really stupid for some reason. Up 24-7, 17 points at halftime. On the road, may I remind you, against the San Francisco 49ers. Who I thought, watching that game, was the much inferior opponent. Much inferior team. We were dominating that game. And then, Dan Campbell, yeah, let's go for it. Let's go for it. You see, I get that. That's his identity. He's not going to change. We see it numerous times. When you go for it on 4th down 5 times and you don't complete a single 4th down, maybe you should start changing some stuff. Maybe play the field position game. Maybe, help your team out a little bit. But 0 for 5 on 4th down, against a good Eagles team, that's, and on the road too, may I remind you, god-awful. So, I don't know, guys. You answered the question. Is Jared Goff the answer for this Detroit Lions team? Is he going to get us to the promised land? Is he going to bring Detroit a championship? You're 6-4 right now. You guys got to figure it out. Because that Sunday night football game a few nights ago, horrible. God-awful. 14 for 37. That's Jared Goff's numbers. 14 completions out of 37 attempts. Horrible. 255 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception, and it happened on the first possession, as I mentioned. Now we gotta go to Jahmyr Gibbs because it seemed like he was the only guy doing something on the offensive side. 12 carries, 39 yards, no touchdowns, but then he had 5 receptions for 107 yards, excuse me. So, good, get him going, right? But we still lost. And our offense didn't do anything. J-Mo, he had a touchdown. Bonehead personal foul he committed. Can't use the goalposts. You know, there's going to be a time where that bonehead costs us a game because he does stupid crap like that. I mean, can he take a lesson from Barry Sanders, one of the greatest football players of all time, an all-time great Detroit Lion? Act like you've been to the end zone before, and hand the ball off. Oh, I know it's too much to ask because we live in an era where you have to create some attention for social media, for the internet, so they can replay it and make memes of it or GIFs, whatever you want to call it, over and over again. But due to that bonehead personal foul committed by Jameson Williams, Jake Bates had to kick a 48-yard extra point. Not a field goal, an extra point. 48 yards. And it was windy in that game early on. You just saw that ball go, shoo, bye-bye. And it's 6-6 instead of 7-6. Oh, it's only 1 point differential. 1 point, especially in the NFL, in that game, could be the difference. So that was another issue the Lions had. Guys just being boneheads. So you had that going on. So it should have been 7-6, but now we're at 6-6. And then I mentioned the 0 for 5 on 4th down. After a while, you have to maybe play the field position battle, Dan Campbell. And you know what? I get it. Stay true to yourself. I will respect you from that perspective. That's who you are. This is the identity of this team. We're going for it. 4th and 2, 4th and 1, 4th and 3, 4th and 6. We don't care. We're going for it. I trust my offense enough to go for it. But then there was a possession the Lions had. It was a 3rd down. You hand the ball off straight up the middle to Jahmyr Gibbs. He gets a couple yards. Okay, 4th down. And, this is where we were missing Sam Laporta a lot. Because he's usually our 4th down tight end. Dump the pass, boom, he gets it. 9 times out of 10. But you got Brock Wright. He can get that 4th down. Isaac Tesla. I saw him once or twice with the offense. Why did you draft that guy? He's a big body. He's fast. He blocks. He can run routes. He can catch the damn ball. Use him for 4th downs. Why are we not using him? Why did you draft him? Kind of crazy, right? But then, that running play, so 3rd down you run to Gibbs. Okay, you didn't get it. The next play, 4th down. I'm expecting some rollout pass, maybe to the tight end. Maybe we can convert, because at that point we were like 0 for 4, maybe. I can't remember. But he runs it up the middle again, and we get stuffed. Jahmyr Gibbs got stopped, and it's a turnover on downs. I mean, we're just breathing life into this Eagles offense when we're missing these 4th down conversions. But 0 for 5 on Sunday Night Football on the road? Whew. Brutal. We only had 74 yards rushing. Now, when you have one of the best running backs in the game in Jahmyr Gibbs, I mean, you can't do that. You got to be 100 yards plus with a couple of touchdowns. That's how we win games. 74 yards the entire game? Not good. And, David Montgomery, I've seen him a couple times. Maybe we should start using him more. Kind of like what we were doing last year. Yeah, when Ben Johnson was here. Yeah, missing that guy a lot, aren't we? So, that. The defense. Like I said, I can't give more praise to this defense because they held the Eagles to 16 points at home. Bravo. With a banged-up secondary, a banged-up defense. Great. Now the offensive line. People are saying, the offensive line's banged up and all that. Yeah, I get it. Tate Rutledge got hurt in that game. Taylor Decker has been hurt. Graham Glasgow. Penei Sewell. I know he's not playing 100%. But guys, in this sport, specifically the NFL, teams play through injuries. It's not an excuse. And that's why we go back to what I was saying earlier about Jared Goff. Almost he has to have a perfect offensive line. Offensive line. What does that mean? You gotta give him 5-6 seconds. In the NFL, on a passing play, that's a really long damn time. Especially when you're going up against elite rushers, pass rushers in the NFL. But I'm telling you, this guy does not have a good offensive line. He crumbles. He just, he can't step up in the pocket and make a throw. But it doesn't matter. Teams play through injuries all the time. This O-line is banged up. I understand that. But you got to play through it. Find a way. Find a way. It's not an excuse. And like I said, it needs a perfect offensive line, and it seems like Jared Goff does. But yeah, he was awful in this game. And yeah, like I said, on the worried scale, I'm very worried. You're 6-4. You got the Giants coming up, and then a couple days later, you got the Packers at home for Thanksgiving. And last year, we almost lost that game. If Matt Uberfluss calls a timeout that he didn't know he had, we probably would have lost that game. But we won, snapping our 7th-game losing streak on Thanksgiving. First Thanksgiving win last year since 2016. I was 20 years old at that time. Yeah, pretty pathetic. And now you got this Packers team who's second place in the NFC North. I don't know, man. I don't know. It's a crazy one. And then you got to look at this schedule. The rest of the schedule for the Lions. Okay? You got the Giants Sunday coming to Detroit, 2-9. Should be a win, right? Packers on Thanksgiving. They're 6-3-1, second in the NFC North. Got to win that one. And then, yeah, like I said, you won last year against the Bears. Snapped a 7-game losing streak. Last win was in 2016. I was 20 years old. But yeah, Matt Uberfluss. Call the timeout, bonehead. Didn't do it. Cowboys, after that, 4-5-1. They just got done winning on Monday Night Football against the Raiders. Yeah, okay. Not really impressive. But then you got to travel to the Rams. Whew. The Rams. Matthew Stafford, almost 40 years old, still kicking ass. Arguably, he should be he's top MVP candidate right now. Why not? Winning games. You're 8-2. Looking like the Matthew Stafford from many years ago when he was here. And he didn't really have a whole lot. Like, he didn't have a good offensive line. The running game was not the greatest. I mean, yeah, he had Calvin Johnson for a minute. But, dude, Matthew Stafford's playing good. So you got to go to the Rams. You might not win that game. I know it's a few weeks away. We might get some guys back. Maybe we'll get Laporta back at that time. Maybe this is a different Lions team at that point when we travel to the Rams. But right now, doesn't look good for the Lions. So you have that. Then you got the Steelers at home, 6-4. Then at the Vikings on Christmas, which is crazy. Why are we playing games on Christmas? I couldn't tell you. Spend time with your family, right? I mean, we got teams already playing on Thanksgiving. I think Christmas should, common sense be like, oh, okay, we'll take a break. Or play that Sunday after Christmas. Oh, no, let's make more money because we're in the NFL, right? Crazy. But we got the Vikings at Minnesota on Christmas. On Netflix, by the way. So, yeah, if you don't have Netflix, you're going to miss the game, which is crazy. But that's another topic for another time. And then you end the year at the Bears, who's first place. Crazy enough. Under new head coach, Ben Johnson, the former offensive coordinator of the Lions. Caleb Williams and the Chicago Bears are finding ways to win. First place in NFC North. So, this Detroit Lions team, I'm very worried, right? They got to figure something out. What do they need to do? Go back to the basics? I mean, Dan Campbell called those plays Sunday night, and that play calling was atrocious. And then another thing, people are talking about, that was a push-off towards the end of the game, right? You got, that was a push-off by A.J. Brown. It should have been offensive pass interference. Now, if that did call, because it was on a third down, so if it was offensive pass interference, it would have been 4th and long. They probably would have punted. We got like a minute and a half left, right around that time. Would that really made a difference with how god-awful our offense was? Like, you really think we're going to march down the field and maybe win this game or tie this game with how our offense was that entire night? Really? Now, yes, it was offensive pass interference. But would that call make a difference with how our offense was doing that night? It wouldn't, because our offense was terrible. And you blame that on Jared Goff. I don't like pointing fingers, but he is the quarterback. He is the franchise. He is getting paid millions and millions of dollars to win games. I don't care if you have a banged up offensive line. I don't care if you're cold. Take off the damn gloves. I don't care if our running game's not getting hot or getting started. I don't care. Take off the damn gloves, suck it up, and find ways to win. Tom Brady did it. Peyton Manning did it. Drew Brees did it. You see a common trend there? All three of those quarterbacks won Super Bowls. Crazy. Right? So, Lions, you got the Giants Sunday, 1 o'clock. Win this game at home. You got to. There's no other way to do it. So, you got that. You got the NFC North. Like I said, the Chicago Bears are in first place, which is crazy. Crazy. And then you got us at third place at 6-4. And like I said, I'm saying to myself, I'm very worried right now. Like, I don't know. This is not what we're used to seeing the past few years, right? Because the Lions have been a good team past couple years, right? Since like 2022, and even that season, that was Dan Campbell's second year. Started off 1-6, end up finishing 9-8. Yeah, we missed the playoffs, but a lot of promise there. Then we go to 2023, 15 wins, win the NFC North. We're in the NFC Championship game. We have the 49ers on the ropes. And then we blew it. We gave it away. That song by the Red Hot Chili Peppers, give it away, give it away, give it away now. Yeah, bye-bye. And then last year, again, your number one seed, you got a bye week. But then you have a Washington team who was a good team last year. They went to the NFC Championship game. They're awful this year. And they come to our house and embarrass us. Like, what are we doing here? I don't know. It's craziness, but Lions gotta win Sunday. So we got the NFL week 12. So I think I did say week 11, week 12 already. Crazy enough, but we got the Bills and the Texans tomorrow. So C.J. Stroud's not playing. So the Bills should win this one. So I got the Bills winning there. Decent game to open up, week 12. But these Thursday night games, I don't know how you guys feel about it. I don't like them. Get rid of it. It's not enough time for teams to recover. I can wait till Sunday and Monday to watch NFL football. Okay? I don't need to watch games on Thursday. I really don't. So you have that Thursday. Colts and Chiefs. That's going to be an interesting one. The Chiefs, 5-5. They lost to the Broncos this past Sunday. Oh, man. Is this the end of the dynasty? Ooh, I don't know. And then that Colts team, Danny Dimes, baby. Hey, he goes to another team and he's successful. How crazy is that? And then you got Jonathan Taylor, who it seems like a lot of people forget about him. Yeah, he's one of the best running backs in the league right now. So that's going to be a good game. I got the Colts winning that one, though. You got the Seahawks and the Titans. I got the Seahawks winning this one. The Titans are awful. Seahawks will win that one. Vikings and Packers. NFC North matchup there. I got the Packers. The Vikings, I don't know. They just, the past couple weeks, that offense, kind of like us, we can't sustain drives. We can't move the ball down the field. I don't know. JJ's not playing great. Maybe he has a bounce-back game. Maybe he doesn't. But I like the Packers in this one. You got the Jets and the Ravens. I like the Ravens in this one. The Jets, not the greatest team in the world. Giants and Lions. Okay, I'm picking the Lions in this game. They have to. They have to win this game at home. You have that. Steelers and Bears. I got the Steelers winning this one. I like the Steelers. I know. Ooh, first place, Bears. And no, I'm not hating on Chicago. They're a good team. I mean, they're first place in the NFC North. But I don't know. The Steelers, Aaron Rodgers, he might not play. I think he broke something in his forearm, they're saying. So if that's the case, well, maybe the Bears will win. But I'm going to stick with the Steelers. Patriots and Bengals. I like the Patriots in this one. Drake May, Mike Vrabel, he's doing something good there at New England. And then Bengals are still without Joe Burrow. Nah, forget about it. And you're going to be without Jamar Chase because he likes spitting on people. Yeah, he spit on Jalen Ramsey's face, if you guys don't remember this past Sunday. So you're going to be without him, too. And he's your star receiver. So I got the Patriots winning that one. The Browns and the Raiders, this is a god-awful game. I'm going to actually pick the Raiders in this one. Maybe they bounce back from that Monday Night Football loss to the Cowboys. Jaguars and Cardinals. I got the Jaguars winning this one. I just don't think, if Kyler Murray's still out and Jacoby Brissett is taking snaps, I don't like that. And, Jaguars just got done destroying the Chargers. So maybe a confidence booster for this Jaguars team. I got the Jaguars. Eagles and Cowboys. Here's the classic matchup. NFC East matchup between these two teams. I got the Eagles. You got Saquon Barkley, you got Jalen Hurts. That defense is going to be too much to handle for that offensive line of Dallas and Dak Prescott. Yeah, you can throw 4 touchdowns and have all those great stats against a Las Vegas Raiders team. But you're going up against the big boys, the defending Super Bowl champions, the Eagles. Good luck with that one. I got the Eagles. Falcons Saints, an NFC South matchup. Michael Penix Jr. out for the season, torn ACL, so you got Kirk Cousins starting this one. I like the Falcons in this one. I think they're going to handle their business. I think Kirk Cousins provides a new breath, a new life. He's out to prove himself, right? So I got the Falcons winning that one. And then Sunday night, Buccaneers and Rams. This is going to be a good one. Baker Mayfield versus Matthew Stafford. Whew. Who do I pick? I gotta go with the Rams. I mean, the Rams are good, 8-2. That NFC West, I mean, that's anyone's ball game. You got the Seahawks in there. You got, the Cardinals are not the greatest, but then you got the 49ers too, and then the Rams, obviously. But I got the Rams. That is going to be a good Sunday night football game. Check that one out. Maybe place a bet or two for that one. And then Monday night to wrap up Week 12. You got the Panthers and the 49ers. I'm going with the 49ers in that one. And those are my picks. Those are the Bryce's picks for Week 12 of the NFL season. So go Lions. You guys know what to do. Wake up. You're 6-4. Playoffs are almost here. Figure it out. So NFL football is done. I think we exhausted enough with that. We got to talk about college football a little bit. So Michigan, as you can see with my hoodie today. Michigan, 8-2. Crazy enough, right? Beats Northwestern, a very good Northwestern team. That coach over there, I forget his name, but he's going to do great things for that program. Great things. 5-5. We won that game miraculously. We win this game, 24-22. Michigan committed 5 turnovers in this game. 5. There's no way in hell college, pee-wee football, junior high, high school, junior college, Division III football, that you win games when you commit 5 turnovers. 5. Now, if they did that against Ohio State, they would have lost 70-3. They were lucky that they beat Northwestern. And I said something. I told my coworkers, hey, don't sleep on Northwestern. Every time we play this team, whether we're playing in Illinois or at the big house, they give us a tough time. And they did. But then Dominic Savada, and the commentators, he's one of the best kickers in the country. Yeah, he misses 2 field goals early in the game. But he's the best. He's one of the best in the... I mean, dude, they were all over him. Praising him. Dude, no. But he did come in and kick the game-winning field goal. When it mattered most, right? So it is what it is. But, dude, they should have lost this game, Michigan. The Wolverines should have lost this game. Awful. 5 turnovers they committed. They gave up. It was horrible. 2 missed field goals by Dominic Savada. He kicked the game winner. Crazy enough. A lot of issues with this Michigan football team in that game. It's beyond miracles that this team won the way they did. Bryce Underwood. His passing in the first half, the best I've seen all year. I mean, he's not throwing 100 miles an hour. He's hitting his receivers. I mean, he's taking his time. He's being patient. He looked absolutely phenomenal in the first half, passing-wise, right? But then the second half rolled around, And now he's throwing interceptions. He's being impatient. Making very stupid decisions. And I get people are like, he's only a true freshman. Give him time. No, you have bad coaching. You need a coach who can coach him. Sherrone Moore. Even if he beats Ohio State next week. Long term, I just don't see Moore being the guy to develop Bryce Underwood. I don't. And we've seen it numerous times this season. Oklahoma game, trash, awful. USC, another game. Michigan should have won, needed to win. You have to have, you're building up resumes, right? Trying to get in the college football playoff. When you lose early in the season in Norman, Oklahoma, against Oklahoma, who just got done beating Alabama on the road, great win for the Sooners there last Saturday. And then you lose on the road against USC, not good. And then, these past couple games, Northwestern, how do you win that game? I don't know. And then you struggle against Purdue, a 2-6 Purdue team at that time. How do you struggle against that team? This Michigan team, it's hard to figure them out this year. And I get it. We're a very young team. And I think they've been saying they're the youngest team in the Big Ten, the commentators. And yeah, we got a lot of freshmen starting. And I get that. But at the same time, this is Michigan football. It's either you show up or you don't. And there's been times where this team, I don't know how the hell they win, but they do. And last Saturday against Northwestern, they had no business winning that game. So yeah, Bryce Underwood, 21 for 32, 280 yards, those 2 interceptions in the second half. He looked great in the first half, but second half a completely different story. Jordan Marshall, 19 carries, 142 yards, 2 touchdowns for that guy. Great, but then he got hurt in that game, unfortunately. And we're already without Justice Haynes. He might not play in that Ohio State game a couple weeks from now. And yeah, I know I'm not trying to jump ahead. We got Maryland. We have to beat Maryland at Maryland this weekend. So don't even think about Ohio State, Michigan. Don't even think about it. Worry about them next week. You have to beat Maryland this weekend. So you got that going. And then we saw this new guy, Bryson Kuzzle. Yeah, Kuzzle. 15 carries for 53 yards. I like him. He ran fine. Maybe we get to see him more this Saturday against Maryland. And then Andrew Marsh, arguably our best receiver on this offense. 12 catches, 189 yards. And then Samaj Morgan. This guy is a fumbling machine. You poke him, he fumbles the ball. You blow on him, he fumbles the ball. This guy cannot protect that ball to save his life. I've seen him numerous times this season on punt returns, kickoff returns, fumble the ball. And then we put him in the offense. They're running a reverse, which I didn't understand that at all. And he gets absolutely annihilated by the Northwestern defender. Fumbles the ball, turns the ball over. So ball control issues for Samaj Morgan. Unacceptable. He's a veteran of this team. I don't know. What do you do with this guy? Because, knock on wood, right? If one of our receivers goes down, you got to rely on Samaj Morgan. I don't know. I don't like that idea. So you have that. Defense. Only 1 sack against Northwestern. That's pathetic. 1. These past few years, defense has been kind of like number 1 priority for the Michigan Wolverines. And you only committed 1 sack. It's not gonna help you. It's not enough. It's not gonna do it. When you got Rashawn Benny, you got Jayshon Barham, Derek Moore, these are seniors. These are the leaders of this defense. And you're telling me they can't get back to the quarterback and sack his ass? I don't know. That's alarming. Very alarming. You gotta fix it. You got Maryland Saturday, 4-6 on the road, 4 p.m. time, start time, Big Ten Network. They're on a 6-game losing streak. Their last win was September 20th, almost 2 months ago. So, Michigan, listen to me right now. You go to Maryland, and you drop 50 on those guys. because then it heats up for the Ohio State game next week. But defense got to get to the quarterback. Bryce Underwood's got to be a complete quarterback, complete football player for all 4 quarters, not just one half. Our running game needs to continue being what it is. Hopefully Jordan Marshall can play. Bryson Kuzzle, hopefully get a couple touches in that game as well. Dominic Savada, gotta kick the damn field goal. You can't be missing stuff. I mean, he's missed, 6 or 7 field goals already this year? But, he's one of the best in the country. I don't think so, Jack. When you're missing that many field goals, nah, you're not one of the best in the country. So maybe you should fix that or rewrite that. But yeah, you gotta fix those. And then stop turning the damn ball over. 5 turnovers? No. Not gonna win games. Probably not gonna win against Maryland if you do that. Because, college football, crazy enough. How crazy it is, right? Anything can happen. You gotta win that game against Maryland. So Michigan gotta win this Saturday. The Lions gotta win Sunday against New York. But now college football, the rankings, a little shakeup. Alabama's out of the top 4. Georgia taking that spot. I mean, they dominate against Texas. And then you got Ohio State at 1. You got Indiana at 2, and then you got Texas A&M at 3. So the top 3 didn't change. But then Texas A&M, they were down 30-3 at halftime against South Carolina. And they come back and score 28 unanswered points. So you're telling me the South Carolina Gamecocks did not score a single point in the second half after dropping 30 in the first half? What? How? How is that even possible? It's insane that happened. So South Carolina, shame on you. Texas A&M, bravo. It was your largest comeback in school history. But they should be out of the top 10, realistically. Like South Carolina, that would have been a huge win if they beat number 3 Texas A&M. But they didn't. So Texas A&M still sitting there comfortably at number 3. Georgia taking that 4th spot. Alabama dropped down to 10 after losing to Oklahoma last Saturday. You got Texas Tech at 5, Ole Miss at 6, Oregon at 7, Oklahoma at 8, Notre Dame at 9. They don't play anybody. Alabama at 10, BYU at 11, and then Utah at 12. I mean, crazy. The rankings are insane. It's college football playoff. You got 12 teams now going to the playoffs this year, so it's exciting. Coming down to the wire, man. We're already, week 13 already of college football? Insane. So, yeah, we had a couple games on last night. You got 2 on tonight, 1 on Thursday. Friday night, you got Florida State and NC State. That should be interesting. And then you got the whole lineup on Saturday. Rutgers at number 1 Ohio State. I mean, yeah, kind of a pancake schedule for the Buckeyes there. Well, play somebody. I don't know. But whatever. Samford versus number 3, Texas A&M. Okay, A&M should win that one. Oklahoma versus Missouri. Well, okay, that's a very interesting matchup. SEC matchup there. Yeah, Oklahoma and Texas are in the SEC. Yes. Yeah, I know. Yeah, I remember that. I know my college football, Jack. Don't get me all jacked up there. So you have that going on. Miami and Virginia Tech. That'll be a very interesting one. Minnesota and Northwestern. You got that game going on. Obviously, Michigan and Maryland. USC at Oregon. So another Big Ten matchup there. Yeah, West Coast teams playing for the Big Ten Conference. Very strange there. But that's on 3:30 CBS, Oregon and USC. Notre Dame playing Syracuse. Texas going up against Arkansas. Michigan State playing Iowa. That'll be interesting on FS1. Like I said, Michigan's got Maryland. They got to handle their business there. The night game is Florida and Tennessee. So another SEC matchup there. Some decent games on. Nebraska and Penn State, Pittsburgh and Georgia Tech. So we got some good games on this weekend, guys. So watch some college football. Go Blue. Go Lions. You guys and those teams have to handle their business. So we are done with college football. We're done with the NFL. UFC 322 Fight Night in New York City. Yes, finally. And this card, guys, it was actually a pretty damn good card. So, Madison Square Garden, one of the most iconic arenas in the world. New York, I mean, you knew the UFC and Dana White they were going to put on some bangers. It's New York, for crying out loud, right? I mean, the city that never sleeps. I mean, you got to put a couple of championship fights on there, right? And that's exactly what they did. So UFC 322 this past Saturday, Islam Makhachev, or Makhachev, is the new welterweight champion. He dominated this matchup. He becomes the 11th two-division champion in history. He joins the likes of Amanda Nunes, Daniel Cormier, Randy Couture, one of the greatest of all time, the natural Couture, Conor McGregor, arguably the guy who changed the face or the perception of UFC, made it global. I will sit on that. You know, you guys can argue Anderson Silva did or George St. Pierre did. Conor McGregor took it to another level, in my eyes. But he's a two-division champion. But Islam Makhachev, two-division champion, lightweight and welterweight. So good for him. Congratulations. But yeah, he dominated. You know, Jack Della Maddalena looked exhausted. He looked hurt. He looked like he was in pain most of the fight. He didn't want to be there. I mean, let's be honest. He did not want to be in that fight. I mean, I don't blame you. Islam is a savage, and he just smothers you. Yeah, it wasn't the most exciting fight. I mean, you're going to get that with the Dagestanis and the grappling. But he won, and he's the new champion as a result. So you had that going on. And now you got Kamaru Usman, 38 years old. He's calling his shot. He wants a title shot at welterweight against Islam Makhachev. So that'll be very interesting if Dana White books that fight. And you guys remember this past June, he beat Joaquin Buckley, 38 years old, and he looked absolutely amazing. And then a couple months, earlier this year, I do believe April, he went the distance to Khamzat Chimaev, who's an absolute savage, and lost by majority decision. So, crazy enough. So, you had that going on. We'll see if anything comes about for the welterweight championship. So, Islam, congratulations. You deserve it, man. So that was the main event. The UFC welterweight championship on the line. Now the flyweight championship, the women's flyweight championship, the co-main event. Valentina Shevchenko defeated Zhang Weili. Zhang Weili. She retained the women's flyweight title. 26-4-1 record. One of the greatest fighters of all time. I was going to say women, but, I'm not trying to get canceled here, right? But she is one of the greatest of all time. Great champion, great fighter. And now, possibly, does she have a matchup with Amanda Nunes? I don't know. Amanda Nunes is 2-0 against Valentina Shevchenko. So, do we see a third fight for the women's flyweight championship? Maybe. But, congrats to Valentina. She looked dominant in that one as well. Good victory for her. And then the third fight of the main card. Michael Morales defeated Sean Brady at welterweight. Undefeated, 19-0, guys. And he's only 25 years old. Hammer fist, knocked him down, and he was just unloading on Sean Brady. So maybe he gets a title shot. Moves up in the ranks in the welterweight division. But great knockout win for Michael Morales. So you had that. Carlos Prates defeated Leon Edwards by knockout TKO finish. Straight left hand, another one for good measure. And Leon Edwards went down like a sack of potatoes. Another welterweight matchup there. So another finish on the main card. So Prates, 2 in a row after losing to Ian Machado Gary earlier this year, April of this year. And then you got Leon Edwards. He's on a 3-fight losing streak. He got finished 2 times in that losing streak. Got knocked out by Carlos Prates. He got submitted by Sean Brady, guillotine choke. And then he lost a unanimous decision to Belal Muhammad, lost the championship, and then Belal Muhammad only defended it 1 time and lost to Jack Della Maddalena. So, the resume for Leon Edwards, I mean, besides beating arguably the best welterweight of all time in Kamaru Usman twice, but his resume as of late, not the greatest. I mean, 3-fight losing streak, he got finished twice. It's not looking good for Leon Edwards. And it was awesome when he beat Kamaru Usman a couple years ago for the UFC welterweight championship. I mean, he was getting dominated in that fight. That leg kick in that fifth round changed everything. It was a beautiful moment, one of the greatest moments in UFC history, but it was short-lived because now he's on a 3-fight losing streak, and he's not gonna get a title shot anytime soon. I don't care how big of a name he is, but and that's what I'm saying. He loses to Bilal Muhammad, and then he has only one title defense, and then he loses the title to Jack Della Maddalena. So it seems like a lot of champions nowadays don't hold the title for that long. I remember a time when Anderson Silva held the middleweight championship for 6 years. 6 years! And then he lost to Chris Weidman. We all know how that ended. So, you have that going on. But yeah, Leon Edwards, he has beaten Kamaru Usman twice in his career. One by KO finish, obviously the head kick. And then he won again by majority decision. But now with Leon Edwards losing 3 straight, I don't know, man. It's pretty painful to watch that. So maybe this is the end of Leon Edwards. Maybe he bounces back. We've seen it with Dominic Reyes. Dominic Reyes was on a losing streak. All hope was lost, and now he won 4. I think he did lose his last fight. Can't remember, but he was like on a 4-fight winning streak, not too long ago. But that's the UFC, man. That's mixed martial arts, and the up and down roller coaster. You know, you're on a winning streak. Nothing lasts forever. You're gonna get beat by somebody better than you. Just with Leon Edwards, I don't know. You beat, like I said, arguably the best welterweight of all time in Kamaru Usman twice, and now you're on a 3-fight losing streak and you lost your title to a guy who defended it just once as champion. So I don't know. It's crazy. Crazy stuff. But like I said, another finish on this main card. And then Benoit Saint Denis. All he needed was 16 seconds in the first round. He knocked out Beneil Dariush. And Dariush missed weight, so he was probably drained. But, you gotta show up, dude. And not only did he get knocked out and lose that fight, it was the first fight on the main card, he has to give 20% of his purse, of his earnings of that fight, to his opponent, Benoit Saint Denis. So Benoit Saint Denis, he's in heaven right now. Beneil Dariush, damn. I mean, poor bastard can't catch a break, right? Lightweight champion, or not lightweight bout, not a championship fight. But, man, 16 seconds in the first round, that's not good for Beneil Dariush. But Benoit Saint Denis, good for you. I think he's on a 2-fight winning streak right now. So we'll see if he climbs the mountain in that lightweight division. And then Bo Nickel, another knockout. This was the final fight of the prelims. He defeated Rodolfo Vieira by knockout TKO. Head kick, and the guy was done. And that's a great bounce back win for Bo Nickel after losing to Ramir de Ritter way back in May of 2025, earlier this year, by knockout. So good victory for Bo Nickel. Hopefully maybe he can start another winning streak as a result. And then you got Erin Blanchfield, another women's flyweight fight. Erin Blanchfield defeating Tracy Cortez by submission. Looked great. She's on a 2-fight winning streak. And then, like I said, this was a great card. Lots of finishes, especially on the main card where you had 3 of them. Obviously, the championship fights went the distance, but the first 3 fights on the main card, all finishes, all knockouts, all knockout finishes. So it was a great fight night. I mean, if you're a fight fan like myself, you love UFC 322 this past Saturday night. It was great. It was absolutely phenomenal. So, great fight night. You got Dan Hooker fighting. What was his name? Arman Tsarukyan. I do believe this Saturday, so that'll be a very interesting fight. But UFC 322, yes, it was great. It was a great fight night. So hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Play some bets. But yeah, it was a good fight night last Saturday. So that's UFC 322. We got to hop over now to some hockey. We got the Detroit Red Wings. So they won last night against the Seattle Kraken. 4-2. Empty netter by Dylan Larkin. And as a result of that empty netter from the captain, it was his 600th career point. So congratulations, Captain. I hope you remember me. We took a picture not too long ago at the Tigers game. But yeah, 600 career points for Dylan Larkin. Good for him. And you know what? It seems like now he's starting to understand this concept of, oh, okay, I got to lead by example. Oh, okay, we got to win games. Oh, okay, maybe I got to be a little more aggressive. Yeah, yeah, that's probably a good idea, my friend. And you're doing a great job. Keep it up. Stay healthy. So Dylan Larkin records his 600th career point last night against the Seattle Kraken. Shots 28 to 22 in favor of the Red Wings. Each team had a power play goal. So we're scoring on the power play. That's great, right? I mean, we've had problems in years past with that. Emmett Feeney, Lucas Raymond, Nate Danielson all had goals, and then obviously Dylan Larkin had the empty netter. Cam Talbot, 20 for 22 saves in that game. So great. We're on a 2-game winning streak. We beat the Rangers Sunday night, and that was all chaos at the end. Got into a big brawl because one of our guys shoots an empty netter, time expired, and Jonathan Quick, the goaltender, did not appreciate that. So these guys were beating the crap out of each other, old-time hockey, beating the crap out of each other, 2 original 6 teams, the Rangers and the Red Wings. There's a beautiful picture out there on social media. You got to get it. I think I posted it on my Instagram a couple days ago. It was beautiful. I mean, old-time hockey, as Mickey Redmond always says. It was great. It was great. But we won that game against a New York team, right? I mean, and yeah, we'll talk about that in a couple seconds here. But yeah, New York seems like we can never win against a New York team, whether it's the Islanders, the Sabres, the Rangers. We beat the Rangers at New York 2-1 Sunday night, so that was great. But yeah, like I said, big fight after. Amazing to see that. But then last Saturday, oh my God. At home, too. This was the worst part. You're playing at home against the Buffalo Sabres, who are not a very good team. Very good hockey team, by any means. You were up 4-1 in this game, going into the third period. They force an overtime, and then you guys lose in overtime 5-4. So maybe that was the wake-up call for this Detroit Red Wings team. Because then Sunday we beat the Rangers, and then last night against the Seattle Kraken, we beat those guys 4-2. We got the Islanders Thursday, tomorrow night, 7 p.m. Another New York team at home. So Red Wings, let's win this one. Let's get a winning streak going. I mean, Thanksgiving's around the corner. I would like to win some games before we all devour turkey and gravy and stuffing, mashed potatoes and sweet potatoes and apple pie. Let's get a winning streak going, boys. But that was crazy this past weekend with the Red Wings. Can't believe they blew that lead against the Buffalo Sabres. But they came back. They bounced back. Sunday, beat the Rangers at New York. And then at home last night, you beat the Seattle Kraken. And now you got the New York Rangers tomorrow. And then this weekend, 1 o'clock, you got the Columbus Blue Jackets at home. So let's win these games at home, boys. Like I said, let's get a good winning streak going. So that's the Red Wings. Keep it up. Watch the game tomorrow against the Islanders, 7 o'clock. It's going to be going. The Detroit Pistons. Yes, the Detroit Pistons have won 11 straight games. Gotta love it. Cade Cunningham came back from injury. He was hurt the past couple games. 25 points, 10 assists. Bravo. Amazing. They beat the Atlanta Hawks 120-112. I love it. I mean, the Detroit Pistons. May I remind you, I know it's early in the season. Don't want to get my hopes up. But winning 11 straight when you're in the middle of November, I'll take it. And they have won a handful of these games without their starters. You got Tobias Harris hurt. I think he came back. You got Isaiah Stewart, or his nickname here in Michigan, Beef Stew. He was hurt for a couple games. Jalen Duren was hurt. Jaden Ivey was hurt. I think he's still hurt. But they're winning games with guys coming off the bench. J.P. Bickerstaff knows what he's doing. So good for him. 11 straight. Like I said, don't want to get my hopes up, but that's great to see. And another thing about that, I haven't watched a single game, dude. I haven't watched a single game this season, but especially since during this 11 game winning streak by the Pistons. I haven't watched a single game during that span. So I'm going to continue that because I'm a superstitious guy, especially when it comes to sports. Because I know if I put on the Pistons only for a few seconds, they're going to lose. So I'm going to continue to not watch the Pistons, and hopefully they win 12 straight. Their next game is Saturday night against the Bucks, and they're not a very good team. So we'll see what happens. But 11-2, first place. Red Wings are first place. Wait a minute. So what the hell's going on with the Lions? Why are they not first place in NFC North? Well, that's sports for you. I mean, Pistons are doing good. Red Wings are doing good so far. Lions got think of something. Got break it down. Hold it together. Get your heads out of your rear ends and figure something out. But the Pistons, 11-game winning streak. I love it. I love it. But I'm not going to watch a game. So if you guys expect me to watch a game, I'm not going to do it. Like I said, superstition, especially for sports, not going to do it. Not going to do it. See this beard here? Ever since I grew out this beard 4 years ago, 2021, Michigan football has beaten the Ohio State by 4 straight years. Ever since I grew out this beard. The Dan Campbell beard, whatever you want to call it. I like it. And Michigan beats Ohio State. Now, like I said, we have to beat Maryland Saturday and then worry about Ohio State. Michigan's got to put up 50. I said it earlier. I mean, you have to establish you got to establish the running game. You got to establish dominance in that game. You got to send a message to the Buckeyes. It's going to be a big game. Ann Arbor this year, so it's probably going to be cold. Probably going to be a little snowy. The game, maybe. 1 week away. So, Pistons. Do they go for 12 straight? Saturday night. Do they do it? I'm not watching the game. So, but yes, Pistons are doing good. Red Wings are doing good. Lions 6-4. Gotta win a few games here. So you have all that. But now we end this episode today. Guys time. November 19th, 2025. We end this episode today. I know it's been a very long time. You guys are the best. But we end today talking about Kamel Macklin. Now, if you don't know who this guy is, I've talked about him numerous times. I've interviewed him twice on the podcast. So if you don't know him by now, that's your problem. This guy is competing in his 5th pro fight to end the year, 2025. And it was a great year for Kamel Macklin. It was a great year for New Way Training Center. You have Savanatini boxing for them. You got Sam Marinelli. Shout out to those two amazing boxers. Fighting for them as well. They have been doing absolutely fantastic. Kamel Macklin, 5th fight, December 20th at the Fox Theater in Detroit, Michigan. Kamel Macklin, he's 4-0 with 3 knockouts. His Instagram is Macklin, Makled, Kamel, his first name, Kahmel. Follow him, contact him, get some tickets. You do not want to miss this. I missed his 4th fight. I was up north golfing. I am not going to miss his 5th fight this time around. I'm not going to miss his last fight of 2025. So December 20th, Fox Theater, Detroit, Michigan. Get your tickets. It's going to be live on the Zone. So all you boxing fans, you know exactly what I'm talking about. You got to check this kid out, man. He's going to do great things. It's going to be fireworks, man. He is going to dominate, and it's always fun when Kamel Macklin's in the ring handling his business. So Kamel Macklin, 5th pro fight, December 20th, once again at the Fox Theater in Detroit, Michigan. Get your tickets. Get them tickets. So thank you guys so much for joining me again. Yes, I know it's been a really long time since the Bryce has had a episode for Guys Time, but you guys are the best fans in the world. I appreciate you guys. This episode's going to be available later today, so check it out. As always, stay safe out there. We got Thanksgiving next Thursday already, guys. So spend time with your family, watch some football, play some bets, watch some sports in general, hockey, basketball, boxing, UFC, whatever. watch some sports. Spend time with your family and friends. Stay safe out there. It's the holiday season. It's craziness. But enjoy yourselves and be the best you can be. All right, guys, you take care. The prize is out. Thank you so much. You're the best. And as always, stay safe out there. And you guys have a good one. All right, peace out. You guys are amazing.